There are lots and lots of different ways to apply vectors in life.
So you can draw a vector in terms of just a letter. If it's bold or if it's underlined. So it's really dark. It's a vector. So vector u or vector u with a line underneath. These are both describing a vector. It can just be an arrow. But it has to have some sort of magnitude with that arrow. So it could be, you know, an arrow with a number on it. Let's go back to the coordinate system, B. So we can describe this vector as the letter O and B in capitals with an arrow over the top. So this is another way of writing a vector. The same magnitude and the same direction. Okay, so if an arrow, you know, letter A, has the same length, but you know it's over here somewhere. Letter C, same length, same direction, it is the same vector. So it could be anywhere on the page, as long as it's the same magnitude and the same direction, they are equal. Okay? So let's do the first one, T plus S. So this is vector addition. So the question's asking us to draw the results. So you start the second vector from where the first vector ended. Does that make sense? And then we draw the resultant vector. So the resultant vector is T plus S. So that vector down the bottom. So all right, what about the second one? Now you've got the idea? 2. Yep, so you just flip the T. So it simply should be the same length as the original T, but in the opposite direction. So we got T, but then S is going that way. So negative S. So the resultant, we end up at that point. So T minus S. So that's the resultant vector, T minus S. Yep, and now we're introducing question 4. This is called a scalar multiple. So write it down, a scalar multiple. So you can times a vector just by a number, and you're going to, you know, scale it up or scale it down. So what's happening to T in this one? Yep, so you purely are doubling the length. It's still in the same direction. So now we have T and T, or it's the same as just 2T. Determine the following for our parallelogram. So we've got a vector E going to the right, and we've got a vector F going like up and to the right a little bit. So it wants us to determine the following. Yeah, so it wants us to find the vector from A to B. So do you remember how to write that with capital letters? So what is it? A, B with the arrow over the top, yeah? So in terms of, because it wants us to define it by vector E and F, what is AB equal to? It's just equal to F. Vector CD. It's negative F because it's going in the opposite direction of F. Yep, very good. We're going from here. So we go, which vector first? Yep. negative e, and then f. If you wrote down f, take e, it's the same thing. Let's have a go. So, a vector joining s to w. You need to go up, which is c, and then across, which is b. Or, oh, whoops. Or you can also write b plus c. A? Yep.
Negative c, vertical to negative 3.
Yep, so we go down and then across. If you had negative b, negative c, that's also correct. Yep. And then negative b, and then negative a. If you had them in any other order, that's also correct. Yep. Negative c plus a plus b.